great way to start the final day of the Alliance tournament. What a cliffhanger.
I was
I'm
shaking.
just like a little bit like,
yeah.
I mean, Hydra is your team.
It's my team, but
Yeah.
I never like, I was kind of laughed. People like Eds that get all like on edge about their team, but I was like really nervous during that match.
It went back and forth. It was like not like the steam train.
Yeah, the thing that's like sort of unfortunate in a way about this format for viewing and for kind of observing EVE in general is that it's impossible to communicate how intense that match was for like the Tyrannus pilots and the Carries pilots. It was so in the middle, I mean in the start of that match when things were bouncing around a bit, it's like it was so close to going either way. I talked a lot about Rooks and kind of E-War in general with Hydra during this week. And one thing that I know for sure is Carries are the last thing they wanted to see on any opponent team because Rooks do fine against damps on unbonus ships, but the Carries with the bonus is actually able to keep the Rooks from locking, and obviously they're depending on the Rooks.
And the Rooks are really important. I mean, for people who sit there and aren't really sure what exactly the ship is, what does the Rook do?
It jams a lot of bad guys. it can lock at like, 230K, and it can jam, 4 or 5 ships, 6 ships, if it gets lucky in a cycle, and that's crippling. I mean, you do a good job spreading jammers and have the right ones and have locks on all your Rooks, and you can shut targeting down for the entire opposing team, and so they're extremely important, extremely powerful.
Yeah, they certainly are, and it's probably 3 ships that they would prefer to not lose. And
yes.
Is that Tournament Cat?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Tournament Cat in like a Tom Cruise-ish Mission Impossible.
I think I just got hot dropped by a cat. Oh man!
Okay.
Holy crap! Here we go.
Great. Yeah. So jamming. Rooks do it. They can lock down the bad guys. Brianna, what exactly happens when a ship jams?
So Rooks are basically a class of Caldari ships that can jam E-War. They're cruiser-sized. They're like Falcons, except Falcons can actually cloak. They're normally either shield tank or armor tank in some of the tournaments here. They jam based on the jammers that you fit in the mid slots. They can be either ratio jammers or multispectral jammers. Ratio jammers are just really good at jamming each of the different races, and multispectrals are good at all of them but have a very short range. It's like a burst. So I think what they were trying to do here with 3 Rooks was to try to jam basically all of the ships on the Road Capel team, and they seem to have done pretty well. They lost 2 of their Rooks, but it was not very clean, I think, because of the Carries. But once they took out the Carries and the Daredevils, I think they had a much easier job jamming the rest of the ships.
And when we say jamming, we mean that the target they hit loses locks.
Like, you don't have any lock at all. You can't do anything. You're just floating in space.
Yeah, basically. Which is like really not the way you win tournaments.
Yeah.
And actually, as long as we're talking about locks and jamming, one really clever thing that I felt like I shouldn't disclose about the Hydra setup, because I'm not sure how many people know it, but I was given permission actually, is that you can do some things without locks, and one thing you can do is assign drones. You can do it via the overview, so you don't have to have a lock. So one thing that's good about the Hydra setup, one reason they have the Myrmidons, in case people were wondering, is that they field a light and sentry drone backup set in case the Myrmidons are jammed. They can assign those to the Frigs, and the Frigs can run off and flip the match, which I don't think they needed here, but there is things you can do when you're jammed.
Yeah, the drones can actually aggress the other. If you have the drones assigned to your target before you're jammed, then you're fine. The drones will keep attacking.
Yeah.
And anyway, drones are the main DPS for the Myrmidons, I think.
Okay. I believe the next match is ready. Just
All
by
right.
magic. I can feel it in my heart. It's like, when someone's like, oh, I can feel in my bones it's gonna rain. I can just like feel in my heart when the match is ready.
Is that the coffee?
It's the hot coffee I poured all over myself.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. What do we have coming up? Is it
More?
CVA versus Agony?
This is probably like a bit of an underdog fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
If
definitely.
you're CVA or Agony, you're probably happy you drew the other guy.
Yeah. They both got lucky.
Yeah, I think so.
Here.
I think so. But that's going to be exciting, though.
Yeah, super exciting.
Agony providing us with a bit of a surprise last round. Who do you think's going to win it?
I'm going to go for CVA, if only because I knew they used to be pretty good fighters.
I seriously disliked Agony's setup yesterday, but I'm going to stick with them today.
CVA, they got less pauses to fuel, more time to practice.
I'm going to go with CVA as well. The burning sensation in my chest from the hot coffee tells me so.